Hello, what is going on, everybody? Liam here, Everything NYJ. This is episode number 48 of the Everything NYJ podcast. Thank you guys for joining me. Before we get into the video, please like, share, and subscribe. It really helps us out. We are live on all social media platforms, so go check us out at Everything NYJ. Everything's there. You guys are probably wondering why I'm doing this alone, where my co-host is. Where is Gino? Where is Gino? Where is Italy Jet? Well, Gino came down to New York for his first ever Jets game. As many of you guys know, we celebrated his 30th birthday. He came here for his first ever game. Gino is heading back to St. Louis now. He is stuck in Baltimore at the airport. His flight was 6 a.m. It is now 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern, and he's still stuck in the airport. We've had fans come from all over the country, probably even other countries, to watch these New York Jets. And the product on the field. Oh, the pain, the misery, the suffering. But if Gino is watching this, Gino, love you, buddy, man. Stay strong. I hopefully get home soon. Um, so yeah, we're gonna get into this debacle of a game, if that's what you even want to call it. It was a blowout. It was disgusting. And like many Jet games in the past, the best part of the game was before the game at the tailgate. Shout out to Green Bean, Matt O'Leary, Let's Talk Jets, Kevin and Tyson, Ryan from Let's Talk Jets 24/7, Gunny Gunby, met his family, and just everybody, from the Jets Lounge that was there, and just everybody that we tailgated with. We had a great time tailgating. Gino had a blast. I had a blast. We were shotgunning beer. We were taking shots. We're gonna leave it at that. It got pretty crazy, man. So I'm gonna give you guys my experience because I was at the game live. So we took the train in, and everybody on the train, we all have our green and white on. We're all pumping our chests. We're all excited. There's some Ravens fans. Little trash talk going on, nothing crazy. And we're all feeling good. All throughout the train station, you're hearing Jets, 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 Jets. You're hearing all these Jet chants. And then the conductor on the train is even shaming us. The conductor on the train is, cracking jokes and just anti-Jets guy, right? Typical anti-Jets guy. He's a Cowboys fan, so that tells you guys everything you need to know about that. And we're trying to change the culture. How many times have we heard we're going to be the best culture in sports? After yesterday's game, that is not how we change the culture. Robert Saleh today said that he's taking receipts. He's keeping receipts on everybody that's mocking these guys. Keep a receipt on him. Why are we keeping receipts? Why not just go out and win? I'm just warning you guys before we get too deep into this video. This is going to be a rant because I'm pissed. I am pissed off, man. There was people like throwing barricades, knocking barricades over yesterday. I was not one of those, but oh my God, dude. For the first time ever, I left the game early. I have never left MetLife Stadium before the game ended until yesterday. And I'm walking out of the game, me and Gino, and Green Bean is walking by too. So we stop and we talk to Green Bean for a second, and Green Bean tells me that he has been coming to the Meadowlands for a very long time. And we all know that. If you guys know Green Bean, everybody knows Green Bean. He's a celebrity. Green Bean is a long time diehard Jets fan. He's been to many games. He goes, I have only had one or two good memories in MetLife Stadium. Since coming up here, he even said. It's been embarrassment after failure, after misery. MetLife Stadium, it wasn't even packed out. We couldn't even sell out our home opener. I get it, it was raining out. But you look around the stands, it was probably 60% Jets fans, 40% Ravens fans. Everywhere you looked, you saw purple. You saw Mark Adams jersey. You saw, Jesus, I can't even talk about it. I can't even talk about it. I'm that pissed off. We saw Lamar Jackson jerseys all over the place. It was disgusting, guys. We couldn't even sell out our home opener. We're sitting there in ponchos. We're getting rained on. And then the Jets come and they absolutely just shit on all of our expectations. They really did. Um, but yeah, once again, the tailgating was the best part of the day. And, it just, we sat in the pouring rain and watched another blowout loss. The Jets lose 24-9. That's what really pisses me off. The defense, yes, they played pretty well, but we cannot expect the defense to win the game for us. The rookies on defense look good. Sauce Gardner only gave up 2 catches, if that. Jermaine Johnson had a sack. That was nice to see. Michael Clemens had a nice pressure. He almost had a sack. That was nice to see. But my God, it's like Carl Lawson, I didn't really notice him out there. CJ Mosley was running around. Quan Alexander had some big hits. Quincy Williams had some big hits. JFM stepped up. Quinn stepped up. Our defense is not the problem here, guys. But this is also the trend from last year. Our defense started off strong last year. But Joe Flacco in his press conference even said that we did not come up fired. We're just kind of flat. I don't understand. We had, what, 4 months to prepare for the Ravens? And the thing is, and I've been telling everybody this, I wouldn't even have been mad if it was a loss. If it was a competitive loss, I would be okay with that. The Ravens are ranked 10th in the NFL. If the little old Jets could have kept up with them, make it close in the first quarter, I would have been cool with it. Okay. We fought. We were in the game. We were competitive. That's all we wanted to see. We wanted to see competent football. Instead, the Jets received the ball first to start off the game, and they go 3-0. And that just sucked all the energy right out of MetLife Stadium right away. And it kind of had a preseason feel to it. And I agree that, like, it was loud, but it wasn't what you would think for a season opener after possibly one of the best drafts in NFL history for the Jets and franchise history. After the great free agency signings and everybody's doing great. The offseason, we always win the offseason, but this offseason was our Super Bowl. This is one of the best off seasons that the Jets have had in many years, possibly in my lifetime, at least that I could remember. And all of that energy just got sucked right out. We're doing the JETS, 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 Jets chant. Fireman Ed is getting everybody all rowdied up. He's doing the best he can. And shout out to Fireman Ed real quick. Our thoughts and prayers go out to him and his family. Fireman Ed, if you don't know, he lost his brother earlier this week. He was inside the stadium. He was basically in tears. His brother always holds him up on his shoulders as he does the JETS chant. And his brother tragically passed away. So our thoughts and prayers are with Fireman Ed. And say what you want about the guy. I know he has a lot of haters. I respect him. He's the voice of the fan base. He could have been with his family. He could have been doing a million other things. He's going through a very tough and difficult time. And he's out there for the Jets. On the 21st anniversary of September 11th, if you guys remember when we hired Robert Saleh said that he belongs in New York. If you guys don't know the Robert Saleh story, he was working in a bank in Michigan during 9/11, and his brother was in the World Trade Center when the planes hit. Robert Saleh didn't know if his brother was dead or alive, like millions of other Americans who, tragically had their families not survive in the World Trade Center. During the time, many people were unsure, and Robert Saleh and his family were another one that they weren't sure. Luckily, Robert Saleh's brother, to this day, is still alive and well, right? He got out. Thank God for that. But that was really an eye-opener for Robert Saleh. Robert Saleh realized that life is precious, life is short, to not do what you love. So Robert Saleh became a football coach. That's what his passion was. And through college, through the NFL, he worked his, he climbed the ladder. He worked his way up. He went through the rankings, finally becomes head coach of the New York Jets. And last year, it was the day after the 20th anniversary of 9/11. Robert Saleh becomes the head coach of the New York Jets. and it's just something that means so much to him. You would think that in that locker room he would have those guys ready to run through a brick wall. I saw the video of him running the stairs and he was, wiping a little tear out of his eyes coming down. That 9/11 means to all Americans, yes, but it means a lot to Robert Saleh as well. And if you guys watch like One Jets Drive and Flight 2022, I don't know about you guys, but the way I feel after watching that, like I'm pumped up. I'm ready for the season. I'm ready to go crack somebody myself. I want to, freaking pancake some guys. The way we came out flat, lethargic, we looked like we just didn't care on offense. We couldn't get anything going. Our offense was stalling. I just don't understand. It's our home opener. Everybody, all the loyal, because listen, there's no bandwagon Jets fans, and there's definitely no casual Jet fans sitting out there in the pouring rain. Let's be honest. We're all waving our white towels around. We're doing the JETS. I'm banging on chairs. We're all chanting. We're ready to go. And they failed. I don't care to see Joe Flacco play another snap for the New York Jets. The Jets fans, we were chanting from Mike White. We were booing Joe Flacco off the field. We were booing him out of the stadium. Put Streveler in. Put Mike White in. Put somebody in. Joe Flacco, it was embarrassing. He's 37 years old. He can't move. And we don't have the offensive line depth to help him out either. It's not just on Joe Flacco. Dwayne Brown is on injured reserve. He's on IR. He's going to be out at least 4 weeks. We're not going to see him until after at least Pittsburgh. Just like our good friend Zach Wilson, that's a whole nother topic that we have already covered. If you guys haven't seen that, it's in our last video. Go check it out. Just had to plug that real quick. But it's insane, man. Joe Flacco was running for his life, and Joe Flacco doesn't run. The guy can't move. He's a statue quarterback. Dwayne Brown's out, so we have Max Mitchell filling in. George Fant he's pissed because he's moving from left tackle to right to left to right. We can't get George Fant right. We can't get him settled in on one position. We got to pay him. We got to give him his contract because he is the definition of a teammate. He's a great teammate. He's done everything the right way. He doesn't really complain. Now he's starting to get pissed, and I don't blame him. Do you guys blame him? I don't. This isn't going to be a very long podcast. I'm not going to go on for hours and hours raving about how pissed off I am. But, Corey Davis had a drop early on. The tight ends, Tyler Conklin had a touchdown, but that's about it. On 4th and 1, Garrett Wilson on third and long, he's fighting to get extra yards. He's breaking tackles. He's diving. 4th and 1 comes up early in the game. The game is still within reach. Robert Saleh punts. It's like, where are your balls? Where are your guts? The Giants beat the Tennessee Titans 21-20 yesterday. They were in a 4th down situation and they go for it and they win the game. They could have kicked a field goal and tied it and went to overtime. But no, that coach showed balls. He showed guts. And they won the game. Robert Saleh, wake up, dude. That kind of example, it's setting. What are you proving? We were gonna punt anyway, he says. We were gonna punt anyway. Why? Why? You can't even try? What do we have to lose out there? We got blown out already. The game ended in a blowout anyway. And I don't want to hear these. He said specifically it's not a moral victory. He said that, but then he kind of contradicted himself, which he does a lot. He said he's happy, we fought hard, and this game they didn't beat us, we lost, we beat ourselves. Point blank, dude, just start winning football games. What do you guys think? I mean, what else is there to say? Coming out of halftime, We were already out of it, and it's like right after we went 3-and-out on that first drive, I was saying to myself, I was trying to be a little positive, but I was saying to myself, I've seen this game before. I know what this is. I knew what kind of, soon as we went 3-and I knew what we were in for. I knew that it was going to be ugly very quick. Our defense kept us in that game a lot longer than we should have been in that game. And yeah, Joe Flacco, he threw for 307 yards, one touchdown, one interception. Like the numbers don't look terrible, but don't go off of the numbers. I was there in person. I saw with my own two eyes what went on that field. Utter freaking garbage. Elijah Moore, he played pretty well, but early on he had one drop on on Flacco's interception. He was going to Lawrence Cager and he slips and falls. I get it. It was raining out. We had injuries, but the Ravens had injuries too. People were trying to stay positive. Oh, it's only week 1 during the game. Oh, we're still in it. We could come back. If we came out that flat and we had no answer for anything that they were doing, they were moving the ball as they pleased. I didn't think that we were just magically going to get it together. I didn't think that we were it wasn't just going to come to us and all of a sudden we're going to start beating their butts. I've seen this before. You guys have seen this before. This is nothing new. A lot of people were saying 7-10, 8-9. They'd be happy with that this season. That's like the consensus answer. That's still a losing season. Our bar is still set low. And we can't even hit that bar. What does that say? Look at Buffalo. Buffalo was they blew out the defending Super Bowl champs. Maybe those Rams aren't what we think they are. Can we compete with Buffalo? Seriously. Can we compete with those guys? I don't think we can. Maybe we could turn it around. Maybe it was just rust. I don't care what it was. It just better get fixed. There's teams that we're supposed to be equal or better than. Look at the Lions. They were competitive. They lost what, like 31-35, something like that. They went toe to toe with the Eagles all game. They were right in that game to the very end. The Bears beat the 49ers. Jacksonville was competitive. The Texans were competitive. That's the realm that we're in. We're a bottom team down with those guys. We looked like we didn't even belong out there. I'll break it down this way. The Jets, the Patriots, the Cowboys. The three of us, we have scored the least amount of points in week 1. The Jets with 9, the Cowboys with 7. The Patriots with 7. Good. And then the Cowboys with 3. Good. I don't want to see Dak Prescott, get injured, but I could really care less about those guys and the Patriots. I hope they suck. I really do. But Miami won. Are they starting to get things right? Are they coming together? Where was Uzama? Why wasn't he featured? Garrett Wilson doesn't crack under the bright lights. Garrett Wilson could handle an NFL game. Why was he so limited? I kept looking down on the field and I wasn't seeing. Where's number 17? And then he would come in and he would make a play. It just doesn't make sense to me, guys. I left about, I don't know, like 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter maybe. And like I said, I have never left a game early. I normally win, lose, whatever. I go onto the park and I tailgate. I party with guys. I start drinking again. I eat some food. I hang out. I talk to people. Nope. I got right on the train and went right back to Long Island. Gino was a little more positive than I am, but he was pissed too. But I guess between me and him, I'm the hothead, and it's different, because I had the opportunity to go to the Jets Bengals game. I don't think I'm going. Why? I wasted a whole day. I took it. The first train out of Long Island was 6:35. So I was at the train station around 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm up at like 5 a.m. I didn't get home until after 8 o'clock. You waste an entire day. You dedicate an entire Sunday to the New York Jets, and this is the product that they put on the field. Why? What is the incentive to go? Why not just sit on your couch and enjoy it? Where you could be dry, where you could be warm, or you could be cool, whatever the weather conditions are. Because I know I sat out there in the pouring rain and watched my team get beat up and get embarrassed. They were unprepared. They were incompetent. Does that sound familiar? I think I've heard it before. I'm not calling for Robert Saleh's head, at least not yet. But we have to be better than this. And like I said, I understand the Ravens are a good team. But some of us have playoff hopes. Some of us are thinking, hey, maybe we could get a wild card. Maybe we could sneak in. Wouldn't that be nice? We got to at least be competitive with good teams. We got to shock a couple people. Do you know what kind of statement that would have made if we have beaten the Baltimore Ravens in week 1 at our home opener? We would all be pounding our chest today. We'd be walking with our chest out saying, we're the New York Jets. Come get some, baby. Nope. Instead, we got our asses kicked. We got our doors blown off. And special teams. Let's get into special teams or lack of it. So, to get this straight, Eddie Pinero came in the middle of last year and he went a perfect 8 for 8. He did not miss one kick, but yet we needed competition. Robert Saleh says the door is always open for competition. So they bring in Greg the Leg Zuerlein, who Gino is familiar with. Gino was calling this since we brought Zuerlein into the building. He worked with him on the Rams. He's familiar with him. He said Greg the Leg is not good. He can make the long kicks. He can't make the close ones. And boy, was that true yesterday. He misses an extra point. He misses a 40-yard field goal. 40-yard field goals are basically chip shot these days. Not many people are missing 40. Not many competent kickers are missing 40-yard field goals. College kickers are making them. High school kickers are making them. Here is a professional veteran kicker who's not making it. Why? Why? Braden Mann, his punts went phew, all the way right out of bounds. Multiple times, too. It wasn't just once. The guy can't kick straight to keep his life, to save his life. I don't understand why. We had something possibly decent with Eddie Pinero last year, and we got rid of him. Why? Where's the upgrade? Joe Douglas and Robert Saleh always say that we are always looking to upgrade a position. Is special teams upgraded? Is special teams drastically better than it was last year? Because I remember special teams last year sucked. We had Ficken. We had I don't even remember his name. Amendola. That's who it was. The Spanish guy. It was a kicking carousel last year. Eddie Pinero came in. He did much better. He was much improved. It got to a point last year during the Eagles game where Robert Saleh wasn't even competent. He wasn't even comfortable putting that kicker on the field. We were going for 2 after scoring touchdowns. 2-point conversions because we were not comfortable with a kicker making a point after or a field goal. This is supposed to be professional NFL team. These guys, Robert Saleh always said, they are grown men playing a child's game for a king's ransom. They looked like children playing in a man's game. They did not belong on that field. Things need to change. I don't know what it is. I don't know how it's going to happen. Robert Sala's keeping receipts now. Keep your receipts, Robert Sala. I have a CVS receipt, a list long enough of things that you guys need to improve on. Who's held accountable? Where's the accountability? And then he goes out today, Robert Sala, and says Joe Flacco will most likely be our starter heading into week 2. What did he do? He's a backup, I get it. But what did he do to earn another spot? I'd rather go with the young guy. I'd rather go with Mike White. Mike White's still trying to figure things out, but he might have something. We don't know. I'd much rather see Mike White out there who could at least move. Because if you're going to have a shitty offensive line, you better have a mobile quarterback. All right, well, thank you guys for listening to my rant. I'm doing another Everything NYJ podcast as a pissed off Jets fan. It's always fun. I always love doing this. Misery Monday. I might have a video out tomorrow. Gino, get home safe if you're watching. Good night. I'll see you guys Wednesday, if not sooner. Thank you guys for watching. Give the video a thumbs up if you agree with me. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Follow us on all social media platforms at Everything NYJ. Good night.